Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Today we are talking all about Venus retrograde and what that means for twin flames. Watch this video. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. I do not normally make videos on a Tuesday, but alas, here we are when Spirit calls you answer. So I felt it very important to come on here, especially because we just started Venus retrograde. I believe it was March 2nd and will be going until April 13th. So just a little over a month. And what's really important, so you guys, if you don't already know, I'm not a huge astrologist. I haven't studied astrology super in depth. I know a little bit about astrology, but more so I want to talk about the archetypes of what we're going to be dealing with today, and then what twin flames can kind of expect intuitively. And then at the end, we're going to pull a little card for you to see, how to best use the medicine of this time. So one thing that I think is really important on my channel, I like to do a lot of myth busting. So let me know down below what's been coming up for you in your twin flame journey. But before we dive into what you can expect, I want you to know what you cannot expect, okay? So people will say that Venus retrograde is a bad time to commit to a relationship. It's a bad time to get into a relationship. It's a bad time to get married or to get engaged or make big decisions around relationships. This is not necessarily true, okay? And I want to tell you the reason that it's not necessarily true is actually because when it comes to retrogrades are a time of kind of rest and reflection. This is why the planets look like they're spinning backwards from one perspective, right? From one perspective, it looks like it's spinning backwards. This is because we are actually, in our perspectives, we are actually going back on a subconscious level to deal with things that maybe weren't fully completed when the planet came back into came back direct. So let me give you an example of this. This can mean that it's a certain type of reflection, okay? So maybe you had some things going on last Venus retrograde around codependency, right? And then you kind of worked through that on a certain level. And this is why I always talk about, you think about all of the planets, you guys, they all go in circles. That means we also go in circles. We heal in circles. Have you seen the strands of DNA that like twist around each other and they go up and down, right? This is our journey. This is our healing. When we have a wound and it's a core wound, we come back to that wound in our lives over and over and over again, and we approach it from different angles, different depths, different severities. And so the healing journey is not a linear journey. It's a very cyclical journey. And this is why we have retrogrades and things like that, because it ignites within us different lessons and things that we need to reflect on. Okay, so especially when it comes to Venus retrograde is going to be considered the planet of love and relationships, right? So you can understand why people would say, oh, don't do anything with a relationship when it comes to, or there's going to be lots of breakups in Venus retrograde. And this is not necessarily true, okay? What Venus retrograde is doing is it's asking you to take another look, not at your relationship in the physical, at yourself, your programs, your lessons, your needs, your experiences, your wants, your desires. It's asking you to take another look and see what is being reflected on the outside is telling you to look within, okay? So if you're experiencing more conflict during this time, right, in your relationships, if you're experiencing a lot of fear around commitment, puppy's coming to say hello. Say hello. Look at this little boy. Hi, little boy. So if you're experiencing a lot of turmoil in your outside world, that is a clear and direct sign to look within during this retrograde season, okay? So retrogrades are only reflecting to you the unfinished work, the unfinished business that needs to still be attended to within. So anything that's going on outside is not because, oh, Venus retrograde is throwing a wrench in this thing. It's like, no, actually, because I need to tend to things within me. And that doesn't mean it needs to be a very chaotic or a very fearful time. This just means that you need to have a look at things and decide from a conscious, loving place where you want to show up and how you want to show up in your relationships. So, with all of that being said, let's talk a little bit about twin flames during this time. Now, we all know that the twin flame journey is naturally very introspective. It's naturally meant and designed to turn you inwards every step of the way. It's not an outward external journey. The same thing that happens during retrogrades with the mirror is the same thing that the twin flame journey is all the time, right? The twin flame journey is a mirror. Do you want to go down? Okay. So the twin flame journey is a mirror, and it's meant to be that way, again, to turn you within, to tend to the things on the inside, okay? So what I want to say for twin flames, we're going to kind of tap into the energy of this time. So it feels like a very kind of slow energy, okay? This isn't going to be a time where, I don't want to limit you, but this isn't going to be a time where maybe a lot of union is going to be coming into play. This is going to be a time where there might be a little more drama coming up, or you might feel like a lot of very astral or spiritual connection to your twin flame, especially if you're in separation or no contact. So you're going to dream about them a lot, especially because we have a lot of planets in Pisces right now. You're going to have lots of dreams about them, and they might even be turbulent dreams. They might even be conflict-oriented dreams. You also probably are going to be dreaming of people from your past, because it's our early relationships that actually shape who we are and how we show up in relationships. So when we talk about retrogrades and having unfinished business, there's going to be things from the past coming into play now. And that doesn't necessarily mean your exes are all going to reach out. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, your karmic partner is going to show up. For some of you, it can, but again, look at that as the reflection of what it is. It's the reflection of telling you, okay, this needs to be tended to within me. This is what I still wasn't ready to face the last cycle. But for twin flames now, what you really need to focus on is really slowing down. This is a great time to dream, to get really clear on what you want and don't want, but not clear on what you want and don't want from a place of ego, more so a place of alignment and a place of soul, right? A soul-led desire versus an egoic desire. And I'm going to give you a little cheat sheet here. A soul-led desire is going to be based in your personal growth, your personal evolution, where an ego-led desire is going to be very based in consumerism, like I want more, I need more, I want this, you know, so it's going to be very, I don't want to say materialistic, because it might not be. Like, a lot of you have done so much work on yourselves, but we can still do a lot of work on ourselves and have egoic based desires. That's not bad or wrong. Just the journey you are on is going to favor the growth aspect of your desires, right? So if you have an egoic desire and you have a soul-led desire, and they match up, right? They both are going to get you what you need at the end of the day, then of course that thing is going to manifest. It's going to come into fruition. But if you have an ego-led desire that has absolutely no soul growth to it, right? Or it's not expanding you or stretching you in any way, it's likely, if you're on a spiritual path, not going to come into fruition. And then you start to feel like, oh, maybe I failed, or maybe I didn't do the right thing, or maybe I didn't try hard enough. When in reality, what you should be asking yourself is about intention and alignment. So this is a great time to get intentional and get back into alignment with your true self. So slowing down, diving deep into your meditation practices, your spiritual practices right now, and exploring your early relationships, asking yourself about your mother, asking yourself about your father, asking yourself about your earlier relationships, and understanding that these are the people that help crafted what you look for in relationships now. So getting clear on what those were, like what were the values that your parents brought to you, and what were the drawbacks that your parents brought to you, and what of that do you want to consciously take into your next version of reality. Not everything our parents gave us was good, and not everything our parents gave us was bad. It's a combination, and it's about you consciously choosing. Tiny boy, what's going on? You okay? It's about you consciously choosing what you want to invite into your reality from, again, a conscious and intentional place. So twin flames right now are going to be seeing this on like a really big level. You might have things coming out about certain relationships that you're like, oh my God, I didn't see this in this person before, but now I see this aspect of this person and I really don't like it, okay? So this is for twin flames going to be where setting your boundaries and honoring them is going to be huge. You have to be willing to not, and we talk about this so much in Twin Flame Path to Awakening. So you guys, this is my group coaching container, which if you're looking to sign up, check the information down below. We are now taking applications for April 2025. I'm not going to say any more because I want to just keep on this video. This is actually enforcing your boundaries, okay? So not only are you setting boundaries, and you're not canceling people for crossing those boundaries without communication, okay? This is an incredible time to work on your conscious communication with others. And conscious communication means telling the microscopic truth, saying exactly what you mean, exactly what you're feeling in the moment, and having the awareness to know when you are being triggered and what's coming up for you. Plus, setting your boundaries with compassion, okay? So it's very easy to set a boundary and just be like flat out no. But you can also be compassionate to what's going on with somebody else while still setting and holding and enforcing your boundary, okay? This is something that I feel like empaths and sensitive can have a hard time doing, because we learned at an early age, if we were compassionate towards others, we actually sacrificed ourselves. And what I'm here to tell you is that you can actually have both. You can have compassion towards somebody else, but you can also be firm in what you know you want and need, and how you want others to show up in your life. So this is something where twin flames will get stuck on this journey a lot, and this has a lot to do with integrating the 5D wisdom into the 3D reality, because twin flames will spiritually bypass and say like, oh, well, they're just on their journey and I'm going to let them be, and it doesn't matter how they treat me because I know in the 5D they unconditionally love me. And that's actually self-sabotaging yourself and self-sacrificing yourself. Like a true embodied person is going to say, absolutely not, I'm not putting up with that. Here are my conditions that I need to be met in order to engage with you. And without that, I don't want to engage with you. That is actually what makes you truly magnetic at the end of the day, is by saying, here's what I will accept and here's what I don't accept. If you do not create conditions and you do not create boundaries that favor you, the universe is going to keep giving you the same thing over and over and over again. I actually saw this video at one point that was talking about whatever you're trying to manifest, know that whatever you have right now is actually the baseline lowest of whatever you could have. The options are limitless, but you are accepting the absolute lowest from whatever it is you're trying to manifest. And the act of manifesting is reprogramming yourself to realize that you're actually worthy of more. And the same is so true on the twin flame journey. You are worthy of so much more. And if your twin flame continues to treat you a certain way, you have to look at where you show up in that, where you allow that, and where you are not embodying the 5D wisdom that you keep spiritually using to bypass. Now, I'm not saying everyone does this, because that's not absolutely true. Not everybody does this, but a lot of people do this. And again, if you need more help with this personally or in group setting, we talk a lot about this in Twin Flame Path to Awakening, so check the link down below. But that being said, this is an incredible time to get clear on what you want, set your boundaries, practice conscious communication with compassion towards the other and compassion towards yourself. You can have both at the same time. And so many of us that self-sacrificed as children don't believe that. We don't believe I can have this and myself. We believe that in order to have closeness in a relationship, I have to lose myself. And that is absolutely not true. It's not true in New Earth. It's not true in the twin flame dynamic. But you have to consciously change that belief before you will see it in physical reality. And Venus retrograde is the perfect time to do that. So what I want to do now, I have a sleepy puppy on my lap. So I'm going to try and put him down, well, keep him on my lap, but I'm going to try and let go of him while we pull an oracle card for you. Okay, so I want to dive into, so many of us on the twin flame journey, right? We're so tuned into the natural world, and we notice different signs and synchronicities in our spirit animals. So the card that I want to pull for you today is my spirit animal oracle. And I want to specifically just get, and what's on I have a dog on my lap, and what's on the bottom of the deck? Dog spirit. So I want to specifically get a message for what the twin flame collective, like what spirit medicine do you need in order to make the most of this time? So collective, spirit, twin flame, the spirit of the twin flame energy, the spirit of the twin flame paradigm, please join us now. Please help guide us. Please give us a message for our highest good, our highest benefit. We are looking to understand during this Venus retrograde time, I have things jumping up. During this Venus retrograde time, what is the overall medicine that we need in order to move through this Venus retrograde with grace, compassion, understanding, and yeah, to really just finally let go of those lessons that we are truly ready to let go of, to really level up. Like, how can we level up during this time? All right, you guys. So we have number 46. We have Peacock Spirit. Let it shine. So I'm going to read this for you guys, but right off the bat, what's interesting is some things that I know about the Peacock Spirit is it's only the masculine energies of the Peacock Spirit that get these brightly colored like plumage. And it's funny because I live in South Africa and we have a lot of peacocks all over the place, like in the different farms and everything. There's always peacocks around, so it's kind of funny because I feel very connected to this spirit animal. But let's see what the actual oracle message is for this one. So this is number 46. Okay. Oracle message. When is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression, and you are called now to show the world how gorgeous you are. Come out of the shadows, Peacock Spirit says, and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and graced, filled with the life force energy and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being here right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance alongside you. That's beautiful. So what I'm really hearing is actually don't even care about anybody else. Don't even put your focus on anybody else. Just purely focus on yourself, giving yourself that divine love, yourself that divine connection, and truly expressing yourself from a place of authenticity and the beauty that you already are. And that really cannot take you in the wrong place. So the more you're deeply connecting with yourself, the more you're deeply connecting with your wisdom, your truth, your magic, the more you will inspire others to also do the same. And it's like the twin flame journey. The more you level up, the more your twin flame has the opportunity to also level up. You create things and then they say, wow, look at this, all that there is to create. And now they are inspired to create more for themselves as well. So during this time, just truly tap into you. Stay present with yourself, stay joyful with yourself, invite some childlike inner child healing, inner child magic to your life, and watch as the wonders unfold. Thank you so much for being here today. Let me know in the comments below what's been coming up for you, what you expect to experience during this Venus retrograde. If you have any questions, put them down below. If you want to ask a private question, you can check the link down below. We're doing a promotion where you can ask us anything, and we share the answer via social media so that others can learn as well. So we've already had tons of people filling out this form, which is super exciting. And yeah, it's very, very cool to have this kind of reciprocal relationship where you guys are helping us create more useful and valuable content for you. You are participating for us and asking us the question, and then we are giving you an answer, plus an answer that can help other people, which you are inciting because you're asking the question. So by extension, you are helping other twin flames on the journey through even asking your question. So I think there's something really, really beautiful about this opportunity. So definitely take advantage of it down below. Let us know your question, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here today. Big love, Serena.